So everybody talks about breathing, right? When you're stressed out, when you're feeling anxious, when you're tired, when you're sad, just breathe, just breathe, just breathe, right? You hear it all the time. But I have found in moments of high intensity or high anxiety, the thought of breathing doesn't help, right? There's something missing there. There's some piece of information that's missing about why breathing, sitting there and breathing is going to actually help you in those moments of high anxiety, high stress, high intensity, because you get so locked into that tunnel of those emotions and those feelings and the physical sensations that come along with it that it's almost impossible. The words, oh, just breathe, right, kind of hangs out over here on the outside, right? Doesn't make sense. So I just want to talk to you about what breathing actually does and how you can take that moment in those times when you feel like it's actually impossible. So I've talked a lot about breathing in a lot of different ways. So the number one thing that it does when you're in a moment of anxiety, if you're having an anxiety attack, or if you just feel the physical sensations, that fight or flight response happening in your body, the focus on your muscle, their diaphragm muscle that actually pulls breath into the lungs, focusing on that muscle is a tangible action that you can take that allows your mind and your brain to start shifting your focus from that tunnel of anxiety or from that fight or flight response that your body is having. So when you attach your mind, when you tether your mind to this idea of the diaphragm moving down and up in your body, and you have that image of what that looks like and what that feels like inside your body, it slowly shifts your focus and it allows that physical sensation. It may not take it away completely, but it will start to soften it. Okay. And once that physical sensation, the physical stress, the anxiety, the tension, that desire to run, the desire to take action, once that starts to soften, then you can begin to settle your body even further. So then once you soften that, you can say, okay, now let me try to lay down for a minute. Let me sit down in a comfortable chair. Let me close my eyes. And rather than overly focusing on what you're thinking about, what you have to do, what action you need to take, all the stress that's coming down on you, you take that moment and pause and find and appreciate that moment of stillness where you're not thinking anymore about what you want to do, what you have to do, what needs to happen, what's not happening, but you just pause, allow that stillness in, and allow the only motion to be your breath. So then you can focus on, again, that muscle moving down and widening and allowing breath in, and then moving up and helping you press the air out. And at the same time, as your diaphragm widens and slides down, every cell in your body expands three-dimensionally and opens and takes oxygen in. And that oxygen does slowly change and shift the cells. It changes and shifts the messaging that's going in through the physical body. It allows that moment of calm and stillness into your physical body. And I guarantee you that's a much better place to look at the rest of your life from, right? So once you've found that stillness, once you've appreciated the quiet, once you've stopped the racing thoughts, you allow those thoughts to pause. You don't have to force anything away, but you bring your body into that moment of calm, almost calm for some of us. Then your thoughts and everything, the way that you're looking at it, it's like you take a new pair of glasses and put it on and you see everything anew, right? You see it with different clarity, with different vision. You can understand what your physical responses are versus what's actually happening to you or around you. Okay, so that's the why. That is why we use breath. And honestly, it's also the how. That's the how we use breath to really get us through those moments. So the only thing now that you have to do is find a way to get your mind to think of it in the moment, right? Because I get it. You're in that place. The last thing you're thinking about is, oh, let me pause. Let me pause and be still for a second. Yeah, that sounds crazy in those moments, right? So the next thing you want to do is you want to get a Post-it or something that you know, your phone, if you have your phone near you and setting an alarm works for you. Anything, your computer screen, your desk, anything that you look at regularly, and you want to write yourself a note. It can be shorthand. Some people, if I write the note breathe, right, I will remember all of this because I know what breathe means to me, right? That might not work for you. That might be a trigger. That's fine. So you can write yourself a note. Think about the diaphragm, pause, stillness, anything that works for you. You place that note somewhere that you see it every day, multiple times a day. And what that practice does, it creates that habit of allowing that note to sink into your mind. And so then eventually you are able to also do it in the moment. Okay. So it's not going to happen overnight. You have to be patient with yourself, give yourself some time to learn this new habit and create this new habit. But I promise you, if you do that, you will start to be able to regulate your emotions and your anxiety and your stress in a way that helps you navigate it and get through your day, even at the most incredibly stressful times. Now, if you have any questions about this, if you want to talk more about it, if something's a little confusing, you want to learn more about the diaphragm, I've got tons of videos about this on my YouTube channel, so you can go ahead and hit that subscribe button below. It's all also on my Instagram at Julie Turner MVMT, on Twitter at Julie Movement, and you are more than welcome to send me an email, info@julieturnermovement.com.